Alright guys, today I'm going to be ranking every coaster at Six Flags Darien Lake. Now this will not include Mind Eraser because unfortunately it is closed the entire season because it's getting new restraints and maybe even full retracking, who knows? Maybe a nor'easter treatment, but yeah, I'd still have this at 5 if I was including it just because I honestly like SLCs even with old restraints, so yeah. But other than that, let's get right into this list, and starting off is Hoot and Holler. This Zero Tivoli is possibly one of, if not the most boring kiddie coaster, just at a permanent amusement park. We're just gonna move on. So number 6 is Viper. This is actually the first coaster to ever invert 5 times, and boy, it was a bad coaster to break that milestone, because yeah, it's rough, but that's not my issue with it. My issue is just how awful and stupid this layout is. For example, you got the first drop. Usually Aero first drops give some good airtime. This is weak floater at best. No positives in any of the valleys. You've got a weak vertical loop that does nothing. And then you've just got straight track with a little bank to the left, but not really. You're just kind of gliding into the bat wing, and then after the bat wing, it's just all straight track with absolutely nothing going on, and the corkscrews are dull as water, all the inversions are dull. It's just not a good ride. You get it for the credit, and then you never ride it again, pretty much, if you're not a local. So coming in at number 5 is Moto Coaster. The Zamperla Moto Coasters, I mean, I'm not a huge fan of them just because of the restraints. I do recognize the launches are actually pretty good because they're flywheel launches. That's the big redeeming quality about this. The rest of the layout, I hear about some magical, airtime that you get standing up, and yeah, there's none of that. There's some, little bobs up and down, but, it's not actual airtime. Don't kid yourselves. If you have to, jump up to actually get airtime, just stop. So, yeah, I mean, it's a good ride. It's a good family coaster, but it's nothing special. So, coming in at number 4 is Boomerang. I actually really like Boomerangs, too, just like I like SLCs. I think these are really intense, especially if you go back row and have your head all the way back during the backward section. Oh my god, that is, some of the best positive G's you'll experience. But yeah, anyways, it's pretty rough, but again, I don't really care. Yeah, I just love that backwards vertical loop. The rest of it's whatever, but I still definitely ride it every time I go just for the backwards vertical loop. So coming in at number 3 is Tantrum, and I gotta tell you, the last ride I had on this was pretty ridiculous. Most rides, it's borderline top 100 for me, but I don't know what happened the last ride I got on it. It was insane. But I know that's just a one-time thing. It rained earlier, so the track was wet. So, yeah, it's a one-time thing, but either way, it's still a good ride. You got lap bars. It's definitely load side back row. That's definitely the magic seat. You get some really good airtime on the S-Hill. The Beyond Vertical drop's great as usual. It's a short layout, but overall, it's a good Gerstlauer Eurofighter. Coming in at number 2 might be a bit of a surprise, especially since I think it's leagues below number 1. And this is Ride of Steel, okay? It's a good ride. It's got great sense of speed. It's got terrible pacing, I'll say that right away. That's the biggest con I have with this. The pacing is absolutely all over the place. And that's been the biggest complaint with the Ride of Steels, from everyone, and I have to agree with that. It's so awkward how you go from having, an ejector hill, the second, to just gracefully floating around a helix for 20 seconds. It's terrible. There's only one ejector moment, I can't lie. I'd like to say there's a few other ejector moments, but the second hill's really the only one that has ejector. All the others are floater. And that big hill, after the first drop in the first turn, really doesn't have airtime, period, unless you're in row 4. So that kind of sucks. Yeah, the airtime's not really anything special on this ride. So, I mean, there's a reason it's just outside my top 50. It's still a good ride, but it's not all that. However, what is all that is number one, and that is, of course, Predator. Now, if you watched my review on this thing, you know already how much I love this ride now. But, yeah, it's just running like a bat out of hell this season, trust me. If even you rode Predator last season, you have to ride it this season. It is a whole new animal. The ejector you get on the 2 hills after the former death turn are some of the most violent airtime moments you will ever experience, and the violence is just as good as it was the season before on all the other hills. Great laterals. It's rough, but it's still not rough enough that, like, the average person is going to complain. Like, it's actually not very rough at all, in my opinion. And yeah, it's got airtime on par with RMC's. It's ridiculous. Good laterals. It's still got some good wooden coaster roughness. It's in my top 20. It's over Fury 325 in my rankings for a reason. It's just that good now. So do yourselves a favor and get out here to Darien Lake and get on Predator this season in the front row, because, man, that experience is wild. But anyways, let me know what you guys think of these rankings down in the comments below. Make sure to like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time.